Handlers, assistants, wranglers, helpers, whatever name you prefer, the people who assist those with elaborate cosplays at conventions these days are the unsung heroes of this hobby. Sure, this isn't a new thing, but as the hobby of cosplay grows and costumes become more outlandish in scale and detail, the importance of such helpers has also grown, so it's not surprising that such a role has become a necessity for many of us. When you look at films, big budget features, or even low budget productions, there is a team of people making sure everything fits, that everything is sitting correctly, and that the on-screen talent look good for the cameras, even for the most moderate of outfits. Considering that many of us are recreating those costumes, whether they're originally a practical outfit or something computer generated, of course there would be a need for an extra set of hands to make sure things don't go awry for us. If it wasn't for such help, many of these costumes would not happen. And I don't mean the construction of them, I mean getting into the costume. The role of a handler is more than just holding a cosplayer's belongings while people take photos. It's adjusting a wig or making sure a cape isn't caught in the escalators. It's repairing a popped button or fastening a hard-to-reach strap. There are steps and doorways to navigate and last-minute makeup to touch up. And after a long day on your feet, it's nice to have someone help you sit and rest. For many cosplayers, this responsibility falls to their partner. We often joke about how this is similar to the old stereotype of the husband or boyfriend holding the bags while the missus is shopping. But as I outlined before, it's a lot more than that. Sure, every relationship is different, but what's a significant other for if they aren't supportive or helpful with your passions and interests? For others, that assistance can come from a family member or a close friend. Basically, someone who cares enough about your work, your efforts, and well, you. Now, I have a few rather complex costumes of my own, so despite being a bit of a lone wolf these days, I'm quite fortunate that I can find a few friends or acquaintances willing to lend a hand, many of whom volunteer in the lead up to an event, which is always so generous of them. Out of those people, there's perhaps one I call upon more than others. Jennifer Riley Cosplay has assisted me many times, and because of her past experience, she's familiar with the order and systems I have in place. Without that help, these costumes might not make it through the doors. I try my best not to get complacent about that help because it's important to remember that these friends, who may be in costume themselves a lot of the time, are generously taking time out of their weekend to help me out. And that's a big deal and not something I want to dismiss. I never want to monopolize their time or overreach by having them follow me around all day. Which is sort of why I change costumes into something a little more manageable for myself, and sometimes it's fortunate that I can only last an hour in something like Optimus. In a time of change for the hobby, where cosplayers and prop makers are making names for themselves, and in some cases being treated like superstars, let's not forget about the valuable contributions of those who help make this happen. Try as we might, we don't always show our appreciation for that help, but know that some of us do try to express that gratitude when we can. They don't get paid or compensated to help us, but they do so for the sake of our fun and expression of our fandom. A simple thank you may not be repayment in full, but it's a great place to start. Here endeth the sermon.